Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're digging into a military briefing from the Thai-Cambodian border. It's a story that starts with a really surprising event on the battlefield, one that has less to do with grand strategy and, well, everything to do with a simple box of ammunition. And just so we're clear, everything we're about to cover comes directly from this single source, the official Thai military briefing. I mean, it's a question you don't hear every day, right? But it's a scenario that was at the very heart of a recent and very blunt military announcement. Okay, let's dive right in. 20. According to a Thai military briefing from July 31st, that's exactly how many Cambodian soldiers found themselves in that position, totally out of ammo right in the middle of a border clash.
Yep, you heard that right. All 20 of them surrendered in the Cheong Cement area. And the official reason given for why this happened is, well, it's pretty stunningly straightforward. So, first up, a surprising surrender. Let's look at the story of these 20 soldiers, at least as it was told by the Thai task force.
Just think about that for a second. In the middle of this incredibly tense border dispute, the official story isn't about some complex strategy or political maneuver. Nope. It all boiled down to a basic logistical failure. They just ran out of bullets. So what happened to them? Well, the aftermath was a mix of legal process and medical care. All 20 soldiers were prosecuted for illegal entry. The two who were injured, they were taken to a military hospital for treatment, although they were, kept under the watch of security officials. Next up, the border on edge. Because, of course, something like this doesn't just happen out of the blue. It was the endpoint of a period where tensions were seriously ramping up. So from the Thai perspective, as laid out in this briefing, the story goes something like this. They painted a picture of themselves exercising restraint, protesting violations of agreements that were already in place. In contrast, they alleged that Cambodia was deploying troops, laying landmines, and even using civilian protests to stir things up. And according to the Thai briefing, it all came to a head at one specific place, the Tham Muan Tham Temple area. They said the clashes there kicked everything off and that their military response was all about protecting Thai sovereignty and, of course, the civilians caught in the middle. And that brings us to something that's always true in these conflicts, right? It's the civilians who often pay the heaviest price. The briefing gave some really tough numbers on the human toll of all this. 52. Just let that number sink in for a moment. That was the total number of civilian casualties reported in the briefing. It's such a stark reminder that this isn't just about troop movements. It's about real people. And when you break that number down, it's just tragic. The Thai briefing reported 14 civilians had died, 12 were seriously injured, and another 26 suffered other injuries. Every single one of those numbers represents a life, a family completely turned upside down. So the big question is, after all that, what's next? Where do you go from here? Well, the focus shifted to calming things down and managing the aftermath. The briefing talked about a two-part plan, a ceasefire and, interestingly, communication. So with Malaysian officials there to observe, both sides reportedly agreed to a few key things. First, an immediate ceasefire. Stop the fighting right now. Second, a freeze on troop movements. Nobody sends in reinforcements. And third, and this is so crucial, clear the way for medical aid to get to the people who need it. Now, this next part is pretty fascinating. The briefing also highlighted what you might call a soft power initiative. The Thai army actually sent its military band to perform concerts at 8 different shelters for displaced people. The goal? To boost morale, relieve some of that incredible stress, and, according to the report, it went over really, really well. But at the very same time, the task force was getting ready to fight a different kind of battle, the information war. They announced they're setting up a one-stop service media center. Officially, the purpose is to give clear info to the press, but they were also pretty direct about wanting to counter what they called misinformation and distortion coming from the opposing side. So you have this combination of actions, right? Military de-escalation, community outreach, and this major push to control the official story. It all leaves us with one big question, and it's a really important one for any modern conflict. When information can be just as powerful as ammunition, who truly gets to control the story?